All right, so we are live. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat okay. Let's see, we've got technically Dustin, Brendan. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me okay. I'm booting up my live stream software for the first time in a while. I want to make sure that we are actually live. And can you hear my microphone okay? Awesome. So we are good to go. All right, so we are live. So Bitcoin has officially broken $61,000 per coin. All right, can you believe that? Well, that means that things are about to get absolutely crazy in the crypto space because, there's a massive wave of opportunity that's here right now for everybody who stuck it out through the bear market and everybody who's paying attention now. Okay, so in this video today, I wanted to do this emergency live stream to talk about this, about what's happening and what I think is going to happen next. So if you're new to this channel, hey, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that's something you're interested in, then smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to take advantage of all the crazy opportunity that happens in crypto bull markets, which that's where we're really in the thick of right here, the absolute best way to do that is to become a blockchain developer, where you try to create your own bot, your own DeFi app with flash loans, break into the industry as a developer to increase your salary well past 100K. I can show you how to do that step by step, start to finish, over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. All right, so we've got people jumping in the chat here. We've got technically Dustin, Brendan, Kelvin, Red. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We will do some time of questions towards the end of this video, but I want to waste no time and jump into the topic of this emergency live stream today, which is what is going on with Bitcoin. Okay, so obviously, nothing I'm saying in this video does not be financial advice. Okay, I'm not telling you to buy or sell any cryptocurrency based on this information, but I have been watching these markets basically every day since 2017, and I'm super plugged in this space, and I've seen what happens during these bull markets and what the possibilities are on the table for these types of things. So let me just pull up my chart here. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this live streaming software. Bear with me, everybody. All right, so can everybody see my screen okay here? All right, so Bitcoin has just broken $61,000 per coin. All right, I think I might have said 60 before, but 61,000. That means we're just a few $1,000s below the prior all-time high of $68,000, $69,000, $70,000, depending on what exchange you saw, that we saw at the end of 2021. Okay, we haven't seen a price level like this in a very long time. All right. Now, why is that number such a big deal? Why 61,000? Why like 68, 69,000? Well, that's the prior all-time high. And whenever Bitcoin breaks its prior all-time high, that's when things go absolutely crazy. Okay. We've been seeing, things heat up for a while, but once we cross that number, that's when you see crypto flying off the shelf. Bitcoin printing $10,000 daily candles, Ethereum making 2x gains in a month, altcoins pulling, 10, 20x's overnight. So you have to think about the prior all-time high as the starting line for all that stuff. Okay, we've been in a bull market for a while. We've seen a pretty impressive run up, which you can see just like this that a lot of people missed. All right, but once we cross that, that's when the gloves are off and things go bananas. Okay, and I talked about this yesterday on Twitter. The price was, I don't know, $58,000, $57,000 per coin. And I said, we are basically a 10K candle away from a Bitcoin all-time high. This can happen in a single day in a bull market. Okay, take note, because in a bull market, Bitcoin can print $10,000 daily candles. And so we're just a sneeze away from Bitcoin doing that. All right. Now, the crazy thing about this is happening a lot sooner than I think a lot of people anticipate. All right. Let's just check the chat, making sure we're good here. Somebody in the chat said the halving hasn't even happened yet. That's right. So I think this is happening a lot sooner than most people think. All right. But it's not a lot sooner than I think if you've been watching this channel and if you've been learning to think for yourself, which is what I try to teach you to do on this channel. Because most people in crypto have this superstition that crypto is going to follow these, predictable 4-year cycles. All right. But I've been talking on my channel for months now that even through the bear market, that this time could be different and we could be breaking out of those 4-year cycles and that we could see something happen much, much faster. Okay. I put this tweet out at the end of January. Okay. Where it said crypto markets have a funny way of punishing the majority. Seems like the majority thinks that we're going to have a traditional 4-year cycle with new all-time highs later this year in 2024, and the market's just going to dump back down before that happens. But what if we just keep going up? All right. So what happened I posted that tweet basically here right before this candle happened. And that's what happened all throughout February. Okay. So most people didn't expect that, but I tried to prepare you. All right. So another thing is when Bitcoin basically reached about $48,000 per coin, at the beginning of February, I also made a video on my YouTube channel talking about how this is a critical level, all right, right around here, because that's about 60 to 70% of the prior all-time high. And the last time Bitcoin did this, it broke the all-time high in like 30 days. Okay, if you go back and look at the chart, we got to about this level, maybe right here, boom. In a month, roughly speaking, it had definitively broken the all-time high. Okay. And I also made a video about that on my YouTube channel, and it was one of the least viewed videos in February because nobody was listening, all right? But I hope that you're listening now, and I hope that you're prepared because that's the important part. Are you watching now? Are you pay attention? Are you trying to catch this wave while it's here? That's the critical thing. This does not last forever. I can stress to you, this does not last forever, and this is something to take advantage of while you can. I'll talk about that in this video, how you can take advantage of this insane opportunity that's presenting itself right now. All we can ask for is an opportunity. Opportunities like this don't come around forever, so you have to play your cards right. All right. So what's going to happen next? All right. Now, obviously, nobody's got a crystal ball. Okay. I don't have a crystal ball. I always think about these things in terms of likelihood. Like, what are the possibilities on the table? What's the most likely thing? In my view, what's the second most likely thing? And then so on and so forth. Okay. So let's talk about what some of those possibilities are. All right. So possibility number one is that we're going to break all-time high kind of soon, okay, and get to that starting line like I was talking about, all right? And what happens when will that happen? All right, if we're at $61,000 per coin, when could we potentially break the all-time high? Well, the last time we were approaching all-time high, we kind of hovered below it, okay, for a little while. And you can kind of see that on Bitcoin's price history, all right? You can see that it started kind of getting to these all-time high areas, right? And it kind of hovered below it for a little while, okay? So we are at a point where we could hover for a little while. It could be a week, could be 3 weeks, could be 4 weeks, all right? And then we could, break above the all-time high and then just crush it, all right? That's kind of one scenario on the table. But if this happens, okay, I don't think that we're just going to have this crypto cycle that everybody else is expecting that lasts well into 2025, where you have all this time to just enjoy this, okay? I don't think we'd have 20 to 22 months of crypto insanity after this week, okay, if it broke all-time high in the next week. The insanity usually lasts 10 to 12 months max. So if we break all-time high next week, we're ahead of schedule, in my view. Probably, again, not financial advice. And we probably would see, the crypto cycle sort of accelerate faster than it does. And if it does, also, don't forget, things don't go up in a straight line. Okay, it's not like we're just going to print these types of candles every single week until we get that or stair step our way up. Like, it's going to have some crazy boom and bust along the way, but the trend would mostly be up. All right. So that's kind of scenario one as I would see it. So what would I think scenario two would be? All right. So scenario two is one that I don't think a lot of people are anticipating. And again, I talked about before, markets have a funny way of basically sort of punishing the majority about what they think. So if the majority is kind of on board with thinking that crypto is going to break its all-time high soon, then what, what's a potential upset? Well, a potential upset would be that we get to the all-time high and we actually get rejected. Okay. We get to $68,000 per coin and we don't actually get there and the price goes down for a little while. Okay. But then ultimately goes and tries it again, breaks past it, and then we get to that starting line like I'm talking about where the bull market happens. That is a very possible scenario on the table. Bitcoin's done that in its price history before. go look, back here, like in the 2017 cycle. All right. We kind of got up to the prior all-time high, didn't quite get it, got rejected, and then broke it. Okay. So that's a possibility on the table. All right. Now, the last kind of major possibility I would see is something like a 2019 style, where basically, we got to some high percentage of the all-time high and then, kind of went down for a long time. Obviously, this was influenced by global events. Okay. And before we really kind of ripped this, I don't think this is going to happen, right? This is a possible scenario on the table, but it's lower in the cards for me. All right. And then the last one, obviously, is that we're at the top now and that things could basically just crash and we could go into another extended bear market. Maybe not as brutal as the last one, but some sort of extended bear market. Now, this could happen. We could have global events that influence this, okay, like we saw in 2020. We could have a war. We could have so many things, some systemic risk in crypto, some big economic, risk, but I think it's the least likely thing, but obviously nobody can ever predict those types of things from happening. So also I realized I was not showing my chart there. Sorry about that. That's what I'm talking about, 2019 style going down, or, some sort of extended bear market, this being the top. It is possible, but I doubt it, right? I mean, it could be like a triple top, right? 1, 2, 3, but I don't think so. So why do I think that's the least likely scenario? Well, that kind of leads me into why is this happening? So I would say there's multiple factors on the table. Obviously, there's rarely one single cause where you can say this is why the price is going up. But there's multiple. Okay. The first one is definitely going to be what's going on with the ETFs. All right. So if you've been living under a rock, no offense, or maybe you're just tuning in for the first time. There's a lot of new people here. What is an ETF? Basically, it's an exchange traded fund. It's basically where you can get exposure to Bitcoin through traditional means, like you'd purchase a stock index. Okay. And, Bitcoin ETFs are approved. They're here. They're trading now. It's a huge thing that we've been talking about in crypto for a better part of a decade now. And they're finally here. And this means that institutions can get exposure to Bitcoin. They can buy billions and billions and billions of dollars of Bitcoin in a way that you or I can't. Okay. And they're live. They're working. They're actually seeing a lot of volume. They're successful. And that's going to be a big part of why we see this. Now, obviously, Bitcoin still trades in the open market. People can do degen stuff with leverage on, Bybit and all these other leverage trading platforms, right? So that's going to also influence price to their market forces, okay? But the ETFs are a huge factor, all right? So some other big factors are definitely going to be just what's going on with the broader economy, okay? Financial conditions have loosened some, okay? We saw some pretty nasty financial conditions in 2022 into 2023. But, things like global liquidity are going up, and crypto is a sponge for global liquidity. The stock market's performing relatively well. It's printed a new all-time high since the last one, okay? That was not the case. Stock market was down only for quite some time, all right? But if you look on the 5-year time frame, all right, we look like we are basically, moving forward in that regard. Okay, so crypto tends to correlate somewhat with the stock market, at least at this point in its history. All right, so if stock market's doing well, crypto is probably going to be doing well. And if two things look like the other, either one's following the other, or it's a coincidence, or they're influenced by a common factor. And that's the one I'm going to go with. All right. And that's going back to global liquidity, like I was talking about, basically financial conditions easing and those financial conditions trickling down towards crypto and other things. Okay. And also you have to understand 2024 is an election year in the United States, and things tend to get kind of easy in terms of financial conditions, or easier. They try to pull the levers because, you want a sitting president who is up for re-election to look good. Okay. So that's a really common thing you have to understand. All right. So those are a lot of the factors that I see why this is happening. Another thing about it is where we are in the crypto cycle. Again, I don't necessarily prescribe to the 4-year cycle thesis. What I really think has to happen is, once you have an extended bear market, you just need enough time for everybody to shake off their PTSD from the last one and You need more time for new technology to get built, for new sort of ways of adoption, and for new participants to also come into the space. And this time it's institutions, the ETFs. And that doesn't happen in a year, all right? And then maybe it happens in 4 years, right? Maybe it happens in 3 years. Maybe it happens in 2.5, all right? So it just need a big gap in between the two markets. And we've had a big gap. And that's why I think we can see this happen now and not have to wait on this, predictable 4-year cycle. I think in the past, it just happens to have been 4 years. And there's a lot of, fooled by randomness, so to speak, and seeing correlations or causations where they don't necessarily exist. All right. So that being said, let's talk about the insane opportunity that's on the table right now. Okay. Because, there's some pretty crazy opportunity. So what is it? All right. Well, obviously the best way to make it in this industry, like I was talking about before, is to become a blockchain developer. Whether you're trying to land a job, whether you're trying to create your own bots, a DeFi app, launch your own project, do flash loans. You can definitely make nice returns in the crypto space. Especially in a bull market, right? If you're investing in crypto, but imagine what you can do if you get inside the industry, how much like up close and personal you're going to get, what an insane edge you're going to have. And also the cash flow that you can make as a developer, whether you're, have a 6-figure income plus multi-6-figure income, or you are, have your own side income through other projects that you've created. All right. That's where the opportunity is. And that's where this big wave is coming. And it always correlates with price, because every time price goes up, it boosts sentiment in the space. Also, people who are trying to recruit developers, the demand goes up like crazy because, they're flush with capital after, the crypto run up. Okay. And they want to reinvest that capital back into human resources to get their projects off the ground to make more money down the road. All right. There's demand for higher compensation for developers during that time. If you're trying to create your own bots, there's more volatility in the crypto market, especially during these bull markets, which means more arbitrages, more flash loan opportunities, sniping bots if you're trying to catch new projects when they launch. The opportunities just multiply during times like these. They don't last forever, and now is the time to really be paying attention and jumping into this space, okay? Now is not the time to check out and be asleep at the wheel, or just sit there and refresh CoinGecko all day and watch your coins go up. All right. Now is the time to really plug in and double down on your investment in yourself. All right. So, that's where we are. All right. So we could break $68,000 per Bitcoin today. It could happen. I don't think so. I'd love to be proven wrong. We could break it in a week. We could do like what I was talking about before, where we essentially kind of hover below the prior all-time high for a little while. You can see there in the last one, basically, we were at, 18 to 19. Like we had a candle kind of like we see now, and then we hovered for basically 3 weeks. All right. So if we did that again, this would be week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and then boom, confident break. That would be in 4 weeks. That would be in March. Okay. Or you could think that this is the candle here if we go up in a week, right? And again, I'm not trying to copy and paste the past onto the future or the present moment, but those are just some opportunities on the table. Obviously, this is a pretty massive weekly candle. It is a $10,000 weekly candle. I talked about $10,000 daily candles. This is a $10,000 weekly candle so far. We are at the top of the wick, so most likely this is the top of the wick for now. But we'll see. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. What's the most likely scenario to you? Are we going to break all-time high this week? Is it going to take a couple more weeks? Is it going to take a month? Are we going to get rejected at all-time high and go back down? Is this the absolute top? And are we in front of the bear market for an extended period of time? I want to hear from you in the live chat. And if you're watching the replay, let me know down in the comment section below. So somebody says April. Oh, no, somebody says, when is the halving? Yeah, so the thing about Bitcoin halving is if we break the all-time high, like soon, within the next month, we will be the first time in history that Bitcoin has made a new prior all-time high before the Bitcoin halving. Okay. So I don't know if that will give more ammo to everybody who has the superstition around the Bitcoin halving, that it causes the 4-year crypto cycles. I don't think it's a big enough influence to govern everything. If you're not familiar with what it is, basically the Bitcoin halving is every 4 years, the amount of Bitcoin produced by the blockchain to pay miners that's issued every single day gets cut in half. Okay. So if you think about supply and demand economics, new Bitcoin's hitting the market every single day, and that amount of Bitcoin gets cut in half. Okay. But the bigger thing that moves the needle on price is demand, not supply, because all you're doing is decreasing the inflation of Bitcoin by a very small amount, relatively speaking, every 4 years. And that's not enough, in my view, to make the market go absolutely parabolic. So Tom from Chicago thinks all-time high in 13 days. So when to swap BYC to ETH after all-time high. So I don't know if that means BTC. Obviously, I can't give financial advice to tell you what to buy. Somebody thinks 250,000 Bitcoin by December. Thank you, Automatic Beats, for dealing with the spammers in the comment section. Do I think this cycle, there will be altcoin season? There's always altcoin season whenever we have this type of stuff. There's no reason to think it's not going to be. Somebody says new all-time high this week, then a correction before $80,000. Yeah, that could happen. Again, we could test the prior all-time high, get rejected, and come back down, and then get up. How would you go about getting the industry as a developer with no experience? Well, you definitely want to learn the technical skills. You want to create a project for yourself. You want to put that project into some type of like portfolio website to market yourself. And then you want to go all in on marketing. And, you know, there's different ways, different strategies for doing that. You know, you can get your foot in the door somewhere and increase your compensation later. That's the easiest way, is basically find an opportunity, not stress too much about what your salary is, and then increase your compensation through a raise or changing jobs. What's the best crypto narrative this cycle? That's a good question. There's lots of crazy narratives, obviously, from AI to deep into crypto gaming to real world assets to other DeFi stuff. I mean, this list goes on and on and on and on and on. It's hard to have a crystal ball to know which one's going to perform the best, but they're all incredibly hot. Which one do you all think in the comment section are you excited about? Which narratives are you plugged into? Somebody says, no way it hits 70K soon. It's about to dump, you think? Yeah, maybe. Automatic Beaks thinks deep in for sure. But I mean, yeah, altcoins. Somebody said no altcoin season. Well, many alts are absolutely flying right now. Okay. I mean, WIF has gone crazy. So many more gone absolutely nuts. New coin launches happening all the time. Obviously, lots of trash, lots of scams out there, but altcoins are printing. So make sure you take profits, my friends. That's right. If you, have been plugged into crypto and you do ride a cycle up this time, yeah, don't forget to sell a little bit. Obviously, not financial advice, not telling you to sell or when to sell or what to sell. I'll just tell you what I do. Not bad to take some chips off the table, especially if you're up like 10x. All right, everybody, that's all I got for today. I want to do this emergency live stream update. We may jump into our regularly scheduled programming with the live streams if, stuff starts getting really exciting and we want to start watching this more regularly. I used to do those on this channel, especially when there's a lot to talk about in the crypto space. We're getting close to that point. Maybe we are at that point. Let me know in the live stream replay here, or in the comments if you're watching this video later, if you want me to start doing these regularly. Do we need to do these every single day, during the week, once a week, when something exciting happens? I want to hear from you, because, I want to try to make the best of this opportunity for everybody involved. And if enough people have demand for this, then, it's something we can sort of bring back on this channel. All right. So as always, make sure you smash that like button down below. Subscribe to this channel. That really helps these videos out. It helps me want to do these live streams to help you all if I know people are actually getting value out of them. And the easiest thing you can do is just like the video, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you want to see these regularly. All right. And again, the insane opportunity on the table right now, the best way to do it is to double down on your technical skills to become a blockchain developer. And I can show you that step by step, start to finish, over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. You really don't have to be an expert to get started today. I've helped people with zero coding experience become real world blockchain developers in a matter of months. So that's all I've got. Until next time, thanks for watching Dapp University.